New videos every day.
Hi, my name's Sonja Spray and I'm a yoga teacher from Austin, Texas. And I'm going to show you a yoga sequence for opening your hips. So to start, we're going to enter Balasana or Child's Pose, and we're going to take a little bit wider than usual. So bringing your knees about to the width of the mat and your toes to touch, you'll press back into the hips. So here you might already be feeling quite a bit of stretch if you're tight there, and you can always lift up out of it, put a block behind you if you need to sit on it. And just press into the hips. Feel the creases of the hips fold back and away. And you can relax your head into the mat. And start connecting with your breath, breathing full into the low belly. And exhaling, dissolving any tension in your hips. On your next inhale, come up to all fours. And we're going to step that front foot forward, the right foot to the front, for a crescent moon pose. So if your knees are sensitive here, you can use a blanket to pad it. And you can also pull so you're not right on top of the kneecap, but a little bit ahead of it. And you'll inhale and lift up and look at your fingertips. So here you want to feel like your hips are even, and to actually get the most benefit, you might be higher in the pose than you think. So inhale and come up out of the pose, and exhale, tuck the tailbone to come forward. And even though you don't go quite as far forward as you might like this, you'll actually feel a much deeper stretch across this front hip. And feel that the right crease of the thigh peel back, get a little wider. As you tuck the tailbone, draw the belly in, and press gently forward. And since this is a short video, and you haven't had much of a warm-up, take it easy, and don't push it too far. And just go with the breath, inhaling, lifting the fingers up and away, and exhaling, pressing into the hip, letting them sink down a little bit deeper towards the ground. On your next exhale, release out of it, straighten that front leg, and we're going to take Ardha Hanumanasana, so a half split. So as the hips draw away from you, your hands are going to draw forward. So if you want to, you can clasp your fingers like this and press away either with your palms or your knuckles. And as you press away with your hands, feel those hips draw back and feel that stretch across the hamstring and into this hip joint right here. Let go of this knee a little bit so you're not hyperextending. And that'll draw the stretch into the middle of the hamstring, right into the bulk of that muscle. And on your next exhale, you can relax over the leg and draw it back down into Child's Pose. And then we're going to draw forward for Cobra Pose. So coming down onto your belly, bringing your hands just below your shoulders, so not right underneath them, but back behind them a little bit. And pressing up gently. And then again, drawing back for Child's Pose. And this time stepping forward with the left foot for Crescent Moon. So again, patting that right knee if you need to, and draw forward so you're not right on top of the kneecap, but just in front of it. Inhale, lift up and out of the hips. Feel them center. Same height, no hitching. And exhale, tuck that tailbone and just draw the hips forward and down towards the ground slightly. Again, going with the breath here. You can pump in and out of the pose. Keep it gentle. And use your breath to relax those muscles. Inhale, lift out, and exhale, sink down. Draw the belly in so you're on top of the pose. And then we're going to exhale, straighten that front leg, and reach over. So pressing the sit bones back away from you and reaching forward with the wrists. Pressing in opposite direction. So even as your hamstring and your hips get a little bit of a stretch here, your spine can lengthen too. You might even get a little glute stretch. On your next exhale, release and press back into your hands. And draw your hips over the heels. And then we're going to come forward. And we're going to step forward with that right foot again. And we're going to bring the elbows to the floor if possible. Otherwise, just keep your hands inside that right foot. And then you'll come up on your toes and start bending the elbows down if they're not already to the ground. And you're really going to feel it deeply in that right hip. So as you press down with that hip, lift up with that back quad and draw that front shin in. So in towards you, pressing against your shoulder. Hold it there for a nice deep breath. Exhale. Release it back down to child's pose. And we'll go forward and switch sides. So left foot forward this time. Placing the hands inside the foot, tucking the toe, lifting up, and then start bending the elbows, bringing them down towards the mat as you hug the shin in towards the center and use that back quad to lift up out of the pose. So this is a pretty intense stretch, and if it's ever too much, just draw it right back down into child's pose. Take one more deep breath here. And on your exhale, draw it back into child's pose once more. Okay, and we're going to take it through a nice simple Upavista Konasana. So wide angle forward bend. So it might be easier to turn sideways on your mat here. And you're going to extend your legs out to the side. If you have a prop handy, like a book or a cushion, that can be helpful. So your knees should face up towards the ceiling. And to start, just feel yourself get long. So let those hips get heavy. Press the sit bones into the ground. And exhale. Fold forward. So you can support yourself with your elbows on the ground or on a block, or you can stack one hand or on top of the other, or your fists on top of each other to bring your head to the ground. And if your head comes to the ground, you can walk your hands away from you. Really press through those heels, but feel a slight bend again in the knees so you're not straining anything there. And relax. Breathe into those hips. On your next inhale, walk your way up. And then we're going to draw the feet in together. And so for this practice, for your resting pose, instead of taking a regular Shavasana, you'll bring your feet to Baddha Konasana or bound angle pose. So just like we had them before, but this time feet in together. You can use blocks to support your knees, or books, of course, whatever you have handy. And another cushion behind your back if you want a little bit of lift. Otherwise, just work your way down. Wrap the shoulder blades down flat on the ground. Extend your arms. Close your eyes and exhale and relax all your muscles. If you want to, if you have a wall nearby, you can also rest your legs up against the wall, still in Baddha Konasana, and that'll just use gravity to sink into those hips a little bit more. So rest here for at least 5 minutes. Set a timer or just stay as long as you want. And that was yoga to open your hips. In our next video, we'll do a yoga sequence for low back pain to relieve it, of course. My name's Sonja, and I'll see you then. Thanks.
If you liked this video, we have hundreds of more alternative videos ranging from sexual health to psychology to mind control. So if you liked it, go ahead and click on me to enter the Psychetruth channel.